You guys, how you doing? Luke here for another interesting topic. Don't want to hear your opinions as always. Don't want to what you think of this. You can see by the title, does the internet change your taste in gaming? Now, before we discuss this, I want to say there is going to be a positive internet video coming soon. It isn't always a negative. The internet is shit, it's negative, it's crap, it's only got shit. The internet has great things. But this video is about modern day. Now, before we continue this, I want to talk about the past a little bit. So before the internet, before YouTube, before you could watch gameplay and read about stuff, before all that, we bought magazines, which is kind of obviously a paper version of what we see, screenshots and stuff. Now I remember reading magazines from being a child up until the point where it's just started becoming obsolete. I mean, I kind of stopped buying them around 2010. 2011. So quite late on I bought them for, and still every now and then it's nice to have a little flick through, but you know, £6 I can get the information for free on the internet. It's a no-go, isn't it? But yeah, magazines. Now, games, if there's mediocre games, let's say, if there's just an average game, it's they still have reviews, but things seemed a lot more positive back then. It was almost like no judging. If you like that game, you like that game. If you like it, childish people say call some games or too violent and all that stuff. There's lots of different games, but there was no prejudice. It seems it was like everyone could like what they want, and it was always in the magazines, positive, and the comments in the back of people talking about it. And the writers always seemed quite. They seemed not too critical. They gave you a review, but they also, like at the end of it, spoke about it. But through the review, they didn't pick up every bad point and stuff, and they talked about it in a positive light, because usually certain games, reviewers choose to do them as they're a fan of them. Now, things at the end, it's obviously got to be a professional review, consumer advice, I understand that, but to the way things got spoke about, so these days, it's just like you put a video up on YouTube, slight graphical downgrade. Let's say it's the developers wanted that, but as they started building the game and they couldn't do what they wanted, everyone loses their shit. Everyone goes fucking crazy. I mean, it is frustrating seeing an early concept game, but that's all it is. It's a concept. There's Watch Dogs, let's say. Things that was a very stark contrast, but you could see Ubisoft wanted to do that. They wanted to have the best looking game ever, of course they do. But as the game started building all the world, all the AI, all the systems in it, so they thought, so we can't do this. It needs to be downgraded graphically. And it's what happens through development. They probably start off on every game looking amazing, but as they add more features and stuff to get a stable game, to stop it from crashing, frame rate drops, so they've got to bring it down to a little bit to what they want. And I think it's quite normal, but these days it's just all... It's like, this is shit, that is shit. Just a very few games that people of the internet, the voice of the internet, seem to latch onto, and it's very niche games, and that's the trend these days, is to basically like niche games, and it's kind of like, we call people hipsters, but personally I think it's more than hipsters these days. I think it's the generation, my generation, the generation before me. People like being critical, people like saying the bad stuff too much. People like criticising a game. Back in the day I used to take a game round to a friend and we used to have hours of fun, and not once did we go, oh, it's shit because of that pop in there or that texture there. But I bet if these games came out in these days, the reviews would be 4 out of 10. But anyway, I'm talking about a review system, but to get more on topic, as the internet changed your taste in game, and I think it does, because I think it's just like almost being say out in the real world. I see people on the internet, these people that are really into the gaming or collecting stuff, and me personally, I've got an alter ego. I don't go off talking about this to people, say acquaintances, as you know, it's still looked down upon. It's sad, it is, but I don't talk about it, and that's what society does. It makes you think you can't do that. It's people know I play games and films, but people saw my collecting and stuff will think, bloody hell, he's more than just your average gamer. And I still feel a bit judged by that. So I only tell the people really close to me or close friends and stuff. It's sad, but that's how I deal with, say, not getting judged. I fit into society. I just slip in. I'd rather slip in than be a hipster, and that's another topic, isn't it? But anyway, it's the same that happens in gaming. It's so clear all over the internet. It's, you've got to like this, and if you like that, people are going to come down and you like a ton of bricks. If you like a certain game, just say if you write it and stuff, it's, you get the shit kicked out of you. How can you like that? Say if you're a Call of Duty fan these days, fucking hell, you can't say it. And I bet there's a very, very high percentage. Before we continue, I want to say Call of Duty, I'm a Call of Duty fan. Barring a new one, I think it's got to quite stale. The mechanics need to be changed and stuff. I understand that. It's still a good game. It is still a good game. It isn't excellent. It isn't fantastic. It isn't groundbreaking. It's just an averagely good game that I can have fun with for 10 hours and then possibly 20 hours on multiplayer. It's a good game to me. But if you say that on the internet, if you tell someone on the internet, 70-80% of them are going to come down and say, oh, you fucking casual twats, it's a shit game, play this. That's shit, play that. And it's very judged. But I'd go into further than saying that about 50% of these people are probably only jumped on my bandwagon, but deep down they probably enjoy it, but I can't admit it. And that happens all over. Certain games you can't like because the voice of the internet says that's shit. And it's weird. But it goes to genres as well. You can't. There was a time when first person shooting it was a dumb genre, like it was dumb. You got to play these very deep, hard RPGs to be a gamer. It's all over, and it's still around a little bit. If you open your eyes and if you see, it's still around. And yeah, for my starting on YouTube, I remember it was all the retro scene. If you didn't like retro, then you want a gamer, and it sucked me into a little bit. And the things I still like retro. I kind of regret getting rid of my N64. I'd love to play that again. But you get sucked into it, and if you're not doing that, I remember you want part of the YouTube community. It was kind of the retro guys or the Let's Play arseholes, and I remember that. And it was kind of it's still there a little bit, but most of the arseholes are gone, and the community is just simmering to the super popular people, Let's Play screaming young kids. I'm judging again, but so that's how I see it, and that the things it shows is what happens, doesn't it? It's either a screaming Let's Player or a boring person such as me talking about games and stuff, and we all judge. But it's just my point entirely. Sometimes you got to be very careful not to be swept away with the videos and focus on what you enjoy. I mean, back in the original Xbox days is when I was probably at the pinnacle of my gaming. I want to say career, it's not career. Gaming time is I chose the games purely because of what I saw in a magazine, what I saw on the box, and what I saw on the back of the box. So if those related to 20 other developers, and I used to have a fantastic time, absolutely amazing time. These days I look too much on the reviews. It does a niche game, people say it's amazing, I think it's not my type, I'll play it, I'm like, I can see it's good, but it's not my type, and you get sucked into all these directions when the main thing to do is focus on what you like. Don't listen to these 10 out of 10s for these rock hard games. Dark Souls, I can see it's amazing, I want to enjoy that game world, it's too hard for me, it's not fun. Dark Souls isn't enjoyable. I don't get enjoyment doing the same level over 3 hours. I want to go through things and experience it at a pace, because let's be honest, in this day and age, who has the time to do Dark Souls? Probably take what, 50-60 hours to do it in just one playthrough, because it takes so many retries and stuff. But it's stuff like that. It's focus on what you want to play. Fuck what everyone else thinks. If it's a 5 out of 10 game on most reviews, if you like it, fuck them. Play it. Play your games. Play your genres. Don't get sucked into the masses as we do sometimes in real life. Stay on your own track. Thank you. Bye.